Hey everybody, how's it going? I know it's been a few weeks since you last heard from me, but I had an incredible week over at Config. They launched some incredible tools, including Figma Make, which is really exciting. I'm very curious to see where that tool will go. Hasn't replaced any of the current tooling that I've been using, mostly Cursor combined with Figma to build these full-scale platforms. But either way, some exciting things to come in the industry. I've also made a ton of updates that I think you guys are going to be really, really happy about in terms of the actual application for B150. We launched it officially to the public to sign up for the private beta, and now I am working towards really launching this platform in the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned on that front. I do hope to have some updates soon. I mean, you're going to be seeing them live here. And so today, our task is going to be to build our social feed, right? Before we kind of had the concept, the architecture of the feed, but we actually haven't had built it out and connected it to a database just yet. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour of some of the things we do have built out, and then we're going to get into the tutorial. But stay tuned. All right, guys. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour of like where things are at with our build out. So as you know, we already have singing the community page. If you haven't seen it already, we have built out a little search tool to find different people on our platform, and we can go ahead and actually like look at someone else's profile, see all their information, and we even have a few new things in here, like we're going to verify people just to confirm their identities. We're going to have badges like top contributors or founding members. All of you who are part of the private beta will get a founding member badge. This will get you access to some perks down the line. There's also the ability to connect with people. You can see here, I've got a pending connection, and I'm actually going to click on that and take a look. So I sent a message to the other Adam Perlis in a parallel universe saying, "Hey, what's up, man?" And that's my connection request to him. Now I'm just going to withdraw that for now and show you guys briefly. If I, oops, I think something happened there when I hit back. But let's just go find Adam Perlis again. When I try to request again, to connect, you're going to see it prompts me to write a message. Everybody on our platform is going to be required to send a message. I think we all have the gripe with LinkedIn that you just get these random connection requests and you have no context about who the person is or why they're trying to connect. And so here we're going to require this for all people so that it really limits those randos kind of trying to connect with you. No offense. But yeah, so we can just like write a message and send the request, and that's going to send it off to the other Adam Perlis. You can see that it was sent successfully, and that will always be here in your notifications section, where you'll be able to manage all the people you've sent things to, and then all the people you've accepted, and then it will also show you if you have any incoming requests. It'll segment them and add them here as well. And then of course we have our activity feed. So that's pretty cool. Those are some really nice additions there. I've kind of like spruced up the profile a little bit as well, and added some more organization to it. We changed the order of things to include projects at the top because I think that's the most relevant for our platform. We want to know what people are working on, and then it goes into like some of their past experience and education and such. So thought that was a nice update. Added some like nice things like copying their email and verifying people, which there's like a whole workflow for that, which we won't get into today, but yeah, eventually you guys will see it. All right, so let's get things going here, and yeah, we can start building out our feed. All right, so I did a little bit of prep work in advance of this tutorial, and fundamentally we've got a few different categories that we're going to be looking at. So The feed will compose of a few different ones. So entrepreneurship is one, design, development, filmmaking, gaming, marketing, operations, and creators. And so we're going to need to create some relationships between these groups. So I'm just going to draw a few boxes here. Like, let's just add some content. So we've got like the feed, and let's just put that into a neat box and auto layout that bad boy. And let's add another one for bookmarks. And then under this, let's have posts. And then posts have comments. And then comments might have sub comments. And I'm just kind of like outlining really what you see here. There's also share and upvoting and downvoting. So posts, I'll just like maybe add upvote, or I'll just put voting for now, just so that we remember that that's a thing, and also share. And the reason I'm blocking this out is like we're going to need to instruct our LLM that these things exist and that they're going to need some database connections. Like basically like a post, essentially, I'll just kind of use the prototype tool for now to connect these. A post is going to be able to be saved as a bookmark. So I want that to be clear. It also can have comments, and then comments can have like sub comments, right? And all of those are part of the feed, or at least these are. Bookmarks will be outside of the feed and have its own page where you can save posts for later and categorize them. So, all right. So now we have like kind of the architecture of like how this is supposed to work. Let's just think about anything else. Oh, one other thing that's important is that, posts are going to need to be categorized. So when we post, it can go into like all, which is going to need to actually be one of these categories. And then, yeah, I don't think it should be necessarily in just design, probably for everything. And then, yeah, so what I was saying is that when you do post something, we do have this like concept of a tagging system. So basically, we're going to need these tags to be added. And that's going to be mandatory. And they'll funnel content into the right places. And so we need to connect this relationship between the community and the subtopic and the post. So let's just add one more here. We'll get rid of this. Oops. How do I delete that? I haven't used this in a long time. Oh, nothing. There we go. So let's just add that this is the community, and then communities have topics. So like communities would be something like design. So basically the posts will also be connected to a community, and that will, and essentially, well, I think maybe it's more that it's connected to the subtopic, and then this community happens to be also connected to the topic. So there's some funky relationships here, but I think it's pretty clear. All right, so we're gonna probably want to break this down like step by step and try to do it one at a time. So let me think about this. What do we want to create first? I I think first things first, right now, nothing happens when we create a post. And so we should probably, at minimum, like instruct it to allow us to create a post, save it to the database under our names or our username somewhere, and um, and then allow others to see that post. So, all right, let's go over to Cursor and tell it to do its thing. And before we do, maybe what we're going to want to do is go to ChatGPT and yeah, let's ask it to help us. So I need to build I need to instruct an LLM to build, or to build well, we already built the feed, to allow our users to post content to the feed. We already have a feed designed and a post dialog. We just need the posts to persist to the database and then be displayed publicly, or not publicly, publicly to all users who have authenticated on the platform. All right, so I'm telling this ChatGPT so that like finesses the explanation. And let's see how it does here. So enable authenticated users to publish posts to the feed. Input source, the content is submitted via the existing post dialog UI. That's correct. We can probably we'll link to it. Persistence, save submitted posts to the database. Each post should include user ID of authenticated user, content, text, image, media is supported, timestamp, optional post type. Okay, we're gonna show it those things as well. Should only allow users who are authenticated to submit content, validate session / token before saving the post, public feed display. Once a post is successfully saved, it should appear in the global feed for all authenticated users, correct. Sort the feed in reverse chronological order, correct. Security validation, sanitize and validate post content, prevent. Yeah, like this is the kind of stuff I don't know what to do, and I'm glad it mentioned it. Some security stuff. Rate limit post submissions if needed, no more than X posts per minute. Yeah, that's a good idea too. So we don't get people spamming or writing like special scripts to spam our content. Yeah, I also like wonder if there's like there's such a thing as CAPTCHA in this. I'm not sure. That might be a good idea. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but if we can do an invisible CAPTCHA, could be an idea. Anyways, endpoint logic, posts, API posts. Yep. Get API feed returns the latest public. Yeah, I like it. Client side, cool. All this looks pretty good. Let's go over to Cursor and like we're going to plug that in, and then for the input source, I'm going to tag, because we have here, I believe it's in. Let's scroll over to our. So we have the feed content. Let's go open that up. And then if I scroll down here, there's posts. Should be a post dialog, post form dialog. So I think this should be it. Just checking if there's any other like special components to it, but I don't think so. Here's all the, okay, those are post actions. let's just look up dialogue. Great. Okay, so that's the button. Oh, here we go. Post form dialogue. This is it. So that's what I'm going to put here at post form dialogue so that it references that. And I'm going to also put feed. Okay. Let's start there and like see how it does. Hopefully it'll get it right the first time. And while that's doing its thing, let's start to plan our next move. So let's assume that everything goes well there, that it creates the feed, it allows us to post. We, I think before setting up like voting and sharing, it probably makes most sense to set up comments and sub comments. And then we will connect it to topics. And I think bookmarks will likely be last, but probably then topics. And then we're going to do voting and sharing afterwards because they're important, but not as important. Okay. And yeah, community will take care of itself. So let's start writing the next part. Okay. We need to set up, we need to instruct the LM to set up comments on each post by other users. We need to allow them to post comments. We need to see their comments, and we also need to I'm hesitant to do the upvoting and downvoting now, which is why I'm pausing. I think we'll set that up later. We need to allow them to post comments. We need to see their comments. And we also need to be able to add a sub comment to their comment. So another thing I just thought about was I want to also be able to, I'm just going to add this so we don't forget it. I want to be able to at usernames like they do on like LinkedIn or any other platform. That's a really nice feature. So that's probably more connected to like a post than anything, but yeah, I'll just add that. Okay, let's see how our cursor is doing. Okay, it looks like, let's see, we need to install required packages, Prisma schema, include new fields for the post model. Okay, I mean, I'm not really sure what DOM purify is. Let's look at what that is. Okay, sorry, I gotta move my screen for a second. Let's see. Okay, so that's for that security thing. So that's cool. All right, let's do it. We'll run that. It's probably gonna give us a little error saying pure dependencies as usual. I still don't know how to fix that, but here we are. It's installing now. All right, it's generating our database. And hopefully it's not going to mess with any of our UI and just kind of use what we got, but we'll see. All right, this is going to take a minute, I think, to do its thing. Let's go back to here and see how it did. So, enable comments and subcomments on posts, commenting functionality, allow authenticated users to comment on any post. Great. Allow users to reply to comments, creating subcomments. Great. Each comment should include post ID, comment ID, user ID, content, timestamp. Good. It should actually, yeah. And we have to look at the posts again. I want to look at that, make sure. Okay, good. It did include all the content. I think it probably will add to that because it's going to see that there's also like a primary or like cover image or link or video that we've included as well. So that may need to be added to the posts. Let's see how it does. And then persistence, save all comments to a table collection. Great. Uses the referencing key. Okay. And then display on each post, display top level comments under the post, replies indented under each parent comment. One level nesting is sufficient for now. Okay, good. And then sort levels by timestamp. Okay. And I don't know if it should be ascending or descending. Let's see, ascending. I have to think about this. Explain how this works. Show comments. So oldest to newest. I'm worried about the feed being descending. So if it's descending and it's oldest to newest, we always want to show the newest post on top. So it really should be ascending. So we're going to have to look back at that to see if that was correct. And in terms of comments, I'd imagine it's the same. Fetch all comment posts. Okay. All right, let's go back here. We are going to copy this for later. Oh, something's happened. Let's see. What did you do here? Okay, it looks like it added some fake test posts for us, but I just don't see when it did that. Maybe at some point I like saved them. Okay, well, let's see. It says, great, successfully implemented the ability of authenticated users to publish posts to the feed. Let's run through what we've done. Created an API feed to fetch posts, updated the post API endpoint to handle new fields and images, updated the post model in Prisma schema to include cover image. Okay, great. Added sanitization of HTML content to prevent attacks, implemented rate limiting to prevent abuse, updated the feed content component to fetch displays and post the API, added loading and error states to the UI. Now you can do all this stuff. All right, well, let's test it out. Let's do all right, we're gonna add a cover image. Let's see, maybe the screenshot. Okay. This is a sample post. Check it out. Okay. What's nice is it's got the image preview there. We can delete it if we want. Giving this thing a spin. Hello world. And while we're here, let's add some different things. Test. Oops. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's add a list. List one. list 2, list 3. Let's bold something. Cool. And then like, let's add a link. b150.ai and link that. Oh, cool. All right, that's cool. And like, let's add it to, these are the only tags I put for now. I think I need to update this system. But let's just put it in AI design for now and post. Let's see what happens. Okay. We got an issue, of course. Let's see what happens. First of all, we're going to copy this thing. And then I'm going to take a look also in the feed here, or in the terminal. Okay, there's a lot of confusing code, but let's just like take it maybe from here. Okay, let's paste that in and just hit enter and like, let's see what it thinks. Okay, looks like maybe it didn't run the generate. Okay, needs a migration. Hopefully that just works, no problem. We'll see. Of course, migration failed. Okay. All right, let's try again. Let's just refresh the page. And let's add a cover image again. We'll just make this a little faster. First post. Hello world. We'll just do that for now. Okay, got another error. Let's see. Copy that. Paste that here. We are going to go back here. Copy this. And paste that back in. Oh. All right, maybe we just need to remove node modules and start again. Let's see. Just going to close our server and we'll restart it manually. Well, why? No, do it the right way. I don't want it to like not use Prisma. It should use Prisma to make the update. And if it needs to remove these modules and like try again, okay. But like, sure, let's reinstall Prisma. Something went wrong. So we're going to do it the way that they're suggesting and then try to give it some more instruction. All right, let's see if it gives us the same issue. Okay, I'm going to pull the database, it looks like, to see what happened and why we're having a mismatch. I suspect it has something to do with the old migrations not being correct. Okay, so we did what we're supposed to do. Let's start the server again and see if we can get it working. I'm going to refresh this page just in case. Okay, let's create our post again. Let's add our cover image. And post. Oh, I didn't select the category, but that's all right. Okay, we got a post though. let's see, can I edit this or no? All right, I'm gonna have to add that. Oh, that's another thing we need to add. We'll just add that here. Edit. And I think delete, we need delete too. But hey, that's pretty fantastic. We have now the ability to add a post, which is just amazing. I still can't believe that we were able to do it. So, and I wonder, like, will this update as time goes on? Like, well, okay, that's cool. It does. It does update. That's pretty amazing. I just can't believe that's working. Also, like, we should make these linkable. So, can you make sure the at or the handles are linked to people's profiles? Okay. So that'll just do that really quickly. Oh yeah. And I think actually beyond not just the handles and names. And I'm wondering if we even like should have these handles here. Like, is that even necessary? Everybody's going to have their names and pictures. Yeah. Maybe can you make sure the names are linked to people's profiles and remove handles like, yeah, I think that's a little better. Just because, like, I don't know, like, I guess the handles are a bit of a unique identifier, but my concern is they're going to be like Adam-Perlis.12345. And like, they're just going to be kind of useless and long and like not valuable. You know, when we search for someone, we'll be able to see their name and their picture and their title. So I think that should be enough information to be able to determine who they are. And nobody memorizes your handle. You know, it's kind of weird. All right, so that's going to do its thing. Let's think about what's next in this feed that hasn't been built yet. We should probably add now the edit and delete functionality. We're gonna also want to add things like schedule posts. So I want to actually add that too into the Figma so that we don't forget. Let's make that a bit smaller. And delete schedule and drafts. Yeah. Cool. Wow. It's taken a long time for that thing to do its thing, but that's all right. All right. So we set that up. Now we need to fix this tags thing too. So like we need to, that's be kind of corresponding though to the communities. So maybe we'll add the communities first and then come back to the tags. So that'll come in a second. Also, when images are like this, we might want to add a border to any images. So we add a, let's see, what's the name of this border? Forget. Let's see, border be custom. Oh, it's like, Maybe it's just this. Class to all images uploaded and give it an 8-pixel rounded corner for the cover image and image video and OG images and rich text post images. So yeah, I just want to add like a border to these, something like this. If we were to like inspect this and then do like border 1 pixel, solid, gray for now, and then yeah, it's already rounded. So like, let's just change this to be a little bit lighter, something like that, just for like any image so that it has like a nice looking vibe to it and it doesn't blend in like this. I think that'll just make it pop a little bit. Okay, just gonna fire that off for some quick styling. All right, so like we got to think about our next moves here. I think let's get commenting working right now. Yeah, comment does nothing. So, and also like if I click on this, probably should show my profile image in the comment, not this avatar. Okay, let's start. I think we already did this. So let's go back to ChatGPT. We wrote task enable comments. Perfect. That's what I want to do. So let's grab that from here. I'm going to paste that in. All right, so hopefully it did what we wanted. I'm going to just refresh this. It should be applying to this thing anyways. Yeah, it looks like it already did it. That's fantastic. And this thing's almost done, so we'll test out the rest of that stuff later. It's not as not important to do it immediately. All right, so while that's doing its thing, let's just plan our next move. So we'll have the comment set up. I think the next thing is the communities. So we need to add the ability. Well, first of all, we need to explain to the LLM that we need to add the ability for a user to add communities to their sidebar. I think it's called, what do we call it here? I'll look up feed content, and we have a name specifically side. I think it's in feed content. Let's maybe scroll down a little bit here. No, let me fire this off to do its thing. Just a second. Maybe it's just in feed. No, it should be. Okay, let's go dig deeper here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Here it is, left sidebar. So the left sidebar is where all those topics are. So we need to explain to the LM that we need need users to have the ability to add communities to their left sidebar. I think that's what we called it, right? Yeah, left sidebar. Each community will have topics. Here is a list of the communities. And that's where we're going to go grab that from here. Yeah, I don't know if we need, yeah, I think there's going to be another place to see all. But if you want to dive specifically into communities, this is where you'll see it. If you want to go to all, like that's really just, that's going to be in the explore section, which is another thing we will do that later. So for now, it'll just be these. And topics, I need you to generate them of the communities. Yeah, maybe like let's start there, where users can add and remove communities. We have a dialog that controls that, can control that. We have some dummy ones in there now. So take a look. Okay, we'll fire that off. Let's go back to cursor. Okay, it looks like it needs to generate some stuff in the database. Let it do its thing. All right, while that's doing its thing, let's just check out what it wrote here. Okay, to enable users to add and manage communities in the left sidebar, goal, allow authenticated users to personalize their left sidebar by adding or removing communities, each of which will contain AI-focused topics. This feature already has a working UI dialog for selection. Well, sort of. Users can add communities from a predefined list. Remove communities they've added. These preferences must persist. Communities should appear in the left sidebar. Communities list predefined provide these fixed communities with descriptions and auto-generated topics. Okay, and so I'm going to just say, let's make all the topics just one word. All right, let's see how it does here. Sorry, I'm going to go open the window here. It's so hot. Hopefully you don't hear my neighbor's guitar playing. All right, let's see if we got some ideas here. So I think we can do better on these communities. I'm going to give it some more information. So like we've got some communities. Well, maybe we don't. These are a little small. Yeah, I'd like for it to go deeper. So let's just explain and make sure there's nothing here. Okay. More topics. And it doesn't need to be AI focused, just industry like or sector focused. All right, let's see now. Okay, startups, funding, growth, pitches, strategy, founders, hustle, markets. Yeah, those aren't bad. Could be better. We'll work on them. These can be combined into product design. branding, motion research. I like to have like design systems. So maybe that can be systems. Um, I'll just say, okay, 2 words max actually. All right, let's go back to cursor, see how it's doing. Looks like it's getting to the last thing that it needs to do, which is to display the comments section, which is great. Well, use 1 word, but 2 words max if needed. Because now it's like kind of like doing it intentionally as 2 words. And I'll probably do some more work to refine these later, make them more aligned with, I think, what the community would want. But maybe we'll just get this up and running. Okay, that's a better list. Okay, I'm going to just say, give me the whole instruction with this list. All right. Oh, this stopped. So let's just resume that and let it keep going. It's almost done. Really hoping it's not too loud with this all the noise outside, but hopefully my amazing AI filters will work. All right, that's almost done. We got our next instructions all lined up. All right, I think I'm going to refine this prompt a bit, but we'll read through it before we post. All right, let's take a look at our platform for a second while that's finishing up. So we got comments here. Okay, failed to load comments that we're going to see. Oh, this is nice. It did add this limit, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. We might remove that or just increase the size. All right. It says here failed to load comments. So let's see here if we can just give it some extra information. But while that's doing that, let's give it a test. Okay. Looks like we got another error. Okay. I'm going to generate that. Okay, well, let's try again before I feed that other error. I'm going to refresh this page just so it's looking clean. I'm going to open the comments here. We're going to write test. Okay, we got some issues. Let's go back to here. I'm going to grab all this and say, and also let's grab this error, copy that, paste that in, and it should know what to do. Okay, we'll try removing the modules and see what happens. Okay, almost there. I'm not exactly sure where the issue is here, but hopefully it gets resolved in this pass. All right, saying to do that, I'm going to refresh our page. I'm going to also restart our dev just in case. Let's refresh everything here. Okay, let's try commenting again. No comments yet. Okay, that's better. Let's do a test. Boom, we've got a comment. Awesome. And then let's check our replies. So test, reply, test, reply. Okay, nice. It even indented it. That's incredible. I got to figure out like what happens when you like a reply to another reply. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. That's complicated. Let's see when I press reply. Okay, well, we'll have to look at that later. I don't think that's so important right now, but this is pretty awesome. I think I'm just going to say, cool, it works. Can the image next to the first comment box be an image of the uh, current user, not the avatar or the what's it called? The icon. I just want this to be an image of me because that I'm writing the comment. So it should be, that's what it should be. Also, oh, this is nice. Let's see, is that linked to my profile? Looks like it does. Let's see if it's the right link. Wonderful. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so we're back to the feed. We've got comments working. They're loading. We can do sub comments, which is amazing. We do need to add the ability to edit them. Yeah, let's add that. Let's do that. Let's do that now. So what were the things we needed? We wanted to be able to vote, share, edit, delete. Yeah, let's do edit and delete. We'll do schedule and drafts later. Okay. Can you give us the ability to edit and delete posts, comments, and sub comments that the current user created? This can go in the ellipse 3 dots menu as a popover. Popover is from Radix. So if you guys remember, we'll just pull this up. Or actually, I think it's a drop down menu. So a drop down menu. But actually, I need to get it from primitives. So let's go over here and see drop down menu. This is the one I want. Yeah, something like that. We may even have, do we have a drop down menu yet here? I don't think we do. So we're going to need to install that. All right, so let's see if it fixed that image issue when you go to comment. Fuck, didn't do the right thing. Sorry for swearing. for all you children on the line. Let's see what that did before. I think you got confused. I'm gonna just like inspect this thing just to see. Okay, right now I just see. You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna go find, like, let's do some actual coding here. So we're gonna find the comments API, and I'm gonna make this bigger. And let's find where, like, we let's see, write a comment. Write. Maybe it's not there. Let's search the entire app for where we say that. All right, here we go. Feed content, write a comment. So that's the text area. And then here's, this is what we need to replace. Okay, so I think so. Yeah, it's using this fallback. So I'm going to tell it, I'm going to highlight this thing and say, right now, I still see the person icon and not the, not my profile. All right, once that's done with this thing, we will instruct it to fix that again. Okay, these are still coming together. All right, let's, while that's doing that, oh, hold on. Looks like it is not completed its task. Let's see. Yeah, it has not. So we're gonna instruct it to keep going. Come on, Claude. All right. So looks like it needs to install this action menus component, which is the dropdown we talked about. So hopefully it's going to prompt us to install that in a second. It's taking a minute. All right, while that does its thing, let's just think through what's next. So we're instructing it right now to allow like editing, updating, deleting. We had set up, what did we queue up here? Oh yeah, we need to set up these sections here. So we're gonna grab these instructions. This is for the communities, and yeah, we're gonna add that next. But actually, I forgot we want to fix this issue. Maybe I can fix it on my own. So let's try to figure that out. So we've got the sub comments. These do have like the actual profile picture. So let's see. Let's figure out where the avatar is being added. It looks like we're using comment author profile image as the way to access it. Let's maybe do the same thing. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to look up profile image. Yeah, it seems like post user profile. going to just copy this whole thing. Maybe we just got to just replace this thing. All right, we're almost there. Let me provide you the summary. Okay, cool. All right, let's take a look. Let's see if it did it. Oh, okay, that's nice. I don't know what that little arrow is, but that is nice. Yeah, let's see what happens when we edit. Great, and then like we'll test, update, post. It's funny that it kind of deleted it from there, but it did update here, so that's positive. Now, once I edited it, I can't seem to click on these. That's super weird. Let's just like refresh the page and see. Something happened. Why did that happen? Yeah, weird. I'm going to explain what's happening here. So once I edit and update, for some reason, it prevents me from clicking the three dots menu again. Yeah, that's very odd. All right, so that was weird. And then while we're doing this, let's just test delete to see if that works. We can delete some of these other old posts. Okay, nothing happened. All right, that's still doing its thing. So maybe I'll try deleting this one to see. Issue. Okay. Wondering if those test ones are like not in our database somewhere. Like where are these coming from? Maybe I can do a search for. No. Oh, that's funny. It says like, are you sure now? Like, I don't know when that changed, but oh, okay, that worked. Good. This does have this. Also, we need to update this count. Start making a list. Okay. Identified the fix, issued the action, and become okay. We're going to test that out now. Let's hit edit, test, update posts. No, it must be a z-index issue. Let's take a look here. Like why? It's weird. It's like something's covering the whole screen. Yeah, everything is. Yeah, actually, like the entire screen is not clickable. I think it's the index issue or an invisible div is applied. So full screen. Yeah, it's probably an overlay after the dialog gets closed. It's like just hanging around. All right, we're almost there. I think we're going to get most of this done today, which is amazing. And these kind of issues are great to kind of like see and troubleshoot. It's like how did I know it was a z-index issue or like this overlay thing? Well, obviously I've been doing it for a little bit, but I kind of like observed that I couldn't click on anything, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why can't I click? Well, there must be something covering it. There's a reason. It was working before. It's not working now. Something must be breaking this thing, and my guess was that something is on top of it, which is why I couldn't click it, and we just couldn't see it because it's transparent. All right, so that's almost done fixing what it needs to fix. I think I'll update comments and stuff getting added later. It's not as important. Um, but yeah, I think we'll move on after this gets resolved. I do want to update that. I don't think we need this. Let's get rid of this. Yes. Or are you sure you want to delete? Oh, good. It looks like it did it for us. Oh, no. I'll fix the styling with that little arrow. I don't know why that's there. All right. Let's see if when we edit, we can update it now. And if it still gives us a problem, yeah, it's still doing it. Doing it. I suspect it's the dialog has a overlay that is not closing. I'm gonna just like right click this and inspect. I do see like when I click, there's this. Like I usually if I hover, I'll be able to select all elements, but it's not letting me. I just literally am selecting the entire thing. And I see that like I'm gonna just maybe copy this. Closing. When I inspect in Chrome and try to click, it selects the entire HTML with a class name of all right. Hopefully this resolves it and we can move on. It's a bit of a strange hiccup I was not expecting. All right, let's see if we can delete our comments while we're here. Okay, looks like sub comments don't have the delete ability. I do want to fix that. And also comments don't appear. Oh, that's so weird. So I have to press delete and then it's like, are you sure? And it's like, yes. And let's see if it works now. Yeah, that's a super weird logic. So weird logic with the delete where I press delete, then it asks me in the dropdown if I am sure. Really, it should open a dialog and ask me. I'm hoping that I won't need to resolve this again, but let's just try. Oh, something went wrong and I can't click. That's so annoying. Uh, let's grab this. Something went wrong. I'm going to try to see if there's any errors here. And let's just inspect this and see if in our console there's anything that like errored out. Nothing specific. Weird. Still having that issue. Well, hopefully it fixes our other issue. Um, yeah, I'm going to refresh the page and just try one more time. It's so strange. All right, let's test out this delete thing and see if it's still okay. Well, that's good. It's starting to do the right thing there. All right, that finished. I'm gonna just give it this other instruction while we test this out. So cool. Yes. Do I want it to delete? Well, maybe before I do that, I'll do it as a comment because we're still working on that thing. Write a test comment, and let's try to delete the test comment. Something went wrong. Okay, looks like this node child issue is it's causing problems for both delete and the edit function. So we'll let it have to finish what it's doing here. And we got about 15 minutes, so I think we're going to be able to at least get posts up and running. I'm hoping we can get the connection to the actual communities on the left side. But if not, I might just do that on my own. And then for the next time, our tutorial is going to be on getting the explore feed set up, which is slightly different than the way we set up our regular feeds. This is more like a LinkedIn. This is more like Reddit, I would say. And yeah, we'll get those set up, and then we'll get saving bookmarks set up, and then yeah, the last pieces are going to be messaging. So being able to message one of your fellow members of the community directly. So we'll create a messaging system, and then it's going to be launching to production. So definitely stay tuned for that. But let's finish this up. So all right, hopefully we'll have resolved some of these issues here with the dialogue. But let's go back to comments. Let's do a test comment. Looks like it actually deleted the other one, by the way, correctly, but there was that other error that came up. But let's just make sure that delete works. We're still getting this error. So let's take a look here. Same thing with the remove child issue. I am gonna just kind of copy any of these errors and paste them in. Let's get it to fix that error, and then we'll deal with the rest. Yeah, I mean, it's saying that it's an issue with Radix. Yeah, it's just a bit odd. that it's having so many problems. And if we can't figure this out, we're going to move on and just try to get the other parts done, and then I'll come back to this. All right. So while that's doing it, let's queue this thing up. Here's our instructions. I'm going to copy that and paste this in here. And while we're waiting, let's edit this. So allow authenticated users to customize their left sidebar by selecting from a list of predefined communities, each of which will display a short list of topics. One more. Okay, I'm just going to just say topics listed below. Users can add or remove communities via an existing dialog component, although it needs to be updated at community. I think it's, let's see if it's called that, or yeah, I'll need to find it. Oh, this is done. Let's go back to that just to check it. All right. So let's refresh the page. Let's see if our delete is working without errors. Okay, that worked without errors, but we still have that dialog problem. So we're going to move on from that. Let's do this other thing. So each display is this. Okay, users can add or remove communities via an existing dialog component, although this needs to be updated. Selected communities and their topics should be displayed in the left side sidebar and persist in the database. And the added communities should persist in the database per user. Okay, all of this other stuff I think is pretty good. We don't need this. Can be in what are these called? What is it called when you hover over things? Like these. I'm totally forgetting the name of that right now. That I'm going to look it up. Not a popover, I don't think. That's a popover. Tooltip, thank the Lord. Tooltip. I don't know why their tooltip isn't working though. That's a bit weird. I think we have a tooltip though already. So let's just take a look here. Tooltip. I know that we do it in another place. So I'll just instruct it can be in a tooltip like the one we use in the at side nav. Okay, cool. Got all these listed. Beautiful. Okay, add drag and drop reordering. Bar. Yeah, I don't know if we need this. All right, let's let it go to town on that. And in the meantime, let's test a few things out. All right, let's figure out why that arrow is showing up. Where is that coming from? Weird. Move this over a little bit. Let's add that again. Inspect. There it is. Some span here. So let's find menu item. Oh, let's run that. Let's go all the way to the bottom here, figure out if there's any components. Okay, looks like there's a lot of things with the name menu item. Looks like this is the, well, let's see if we can find the dropdown. Maybe there's a component that we created called that. I don't know if it's using popover or something else. Oh, here we go, action menu. Let's see if there's anything that says span. No. Because I think like when I look at Radix, I don't think I see that little, oh, I do see it. It's white. So I think the issue is that it's black. Let's see if there's anything here. New item, pencil icon. Oh, here it is, the arrow. Fill, let's make it white. Let's see if that fixed the issue. Ah, okay. Well, that's positive. Or maybe we can just like get rid of it. What if we don't really need it? Yeah, I think that's better. Cool. All right, that's positive. All right, let's let this thing keep going. Got 7 minutes. Press Y. Press enter. That's going to install or like generate our Prisma like migration, I think, and get it ready to be added to the database. All right, let's see if that's working. I have a feeling it won't, but okay. Yeah, that's not correct. We need to be able to see a list of all the communities. Like, how do I know? And what happens if I do that? Okay, not working. So when I click the communities plus dialog or button to open the dialog, it shows an input form. I need a list of all the communities I can choose from, and it should have a search too. All right, so hopefully all the database stuff got set up already here, but it was just, I don't know, got confused and it didn't do everything we need to set up. So it looks like it's creating a new dialogue, which I would prefer it not to and just use the one we had, but I'm not going to stop it. Hopefully it does it correctly and fixes what we wanted to do here. And later we can do a little cleanup and remove other components that are no longer being used, like our old communities dialogue. All right, this is almost done. Okay. All right, great. We can give this thing a spin. All right, well, something's happening here. Okay, it looks like it's added a few communities for us. What's nice is these need a little styling, but they're close. Okay, we are getting failed to load communities, but sorry guys, we're getting a lot of background noise here. I'm gonna just close my window just a moment. All right, so yeah, this is not showing up, so we're gonna tell it that it's not working. And let's just grab it from up here where we started to get errors. But definitely some positive signs here for sure. Yeah, I kind of changed my mind. I'm wondering if we should have like all communities combined into one feed where it's just like anybody that you follow or like any community that you're part of, it will be like kind of including everything. Explorer is kind of like slightly different because it's all of that, but it's also people you follow, people you're connected with, and also anything that we might recommend based on like what's popular. Um, so like that's the difference kind of between trending and recommended. I think is trending would be really what's popular, and then recommended will be based on like follow your followers and your connections. So we'll get to that later, but yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm thinking about it from a UX perspective that when somebody comes here for the first time, they might not have any communities added, in which case it'll be weird to like not see any posts. But I don't know. I'm going to think through that a little bit more. All right, let's see what's going on here. Now we're getting even more errors. More errors. Yeah, we're going to just like feed a bunch of these into there. Just copying all of them, pasting them in, letting it update. Probably could do it all at once, but I was being lazy. Yeah, probably would have been a better way to do it and not cost me as much, but yeah. Don't do what I just did. Just copy all the errors and put it into one request. I just like burned at least 6 credits on Cursor for that. I don't know what this quota error banner is. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. So I'm going to ask, instead of putting it in agent mode, I'm going to put it into ask mode and ask it that question afterwards. Oh, It might be that Neon has like reached its limit. Oh, I'm gonna start paying for this thing, guys. All right, we're not gonna be able to move forward. Unfortunately, I don't want to have to set that up right now, but I'll get that resolved. Anyways, today we solved a lot of problems. I showed you guys how to get the basic feed up and running. We got post working, we got comments working, we got edit and update, generally speaking, or sorry, edit and delete, generally speaking, working. So hopefully you learned a few things. I know it was a long one, but we're getting so close to this launching. Stay tuned for more updates, and thanks for bearing with me here. Looking forward to having you all be part of the community.